So in your mathematics, never take a zero for granted. Never take a zero for granted, as it can affect your calculations. So in our case, we need to understand the property of zero. What are the properties that can be used associated with what? With a zero. So in our case, I just want us to consider starting with addition. 2 plus a 0, 3 plus a 0. We want to see what exactly happens here. 2 plus a 0. That's a 2. All right, no problem. What about 3 plus a 0? That is again 3. So adding the 0 to this number 2 did not affect the number. 3 plus a 0, 3 is not affected. So what can we say? Adding 0 to any number does not change the number. Does not change. All right? So that is what we can put here as our first property for addition. All right? So for addition, adding 0 to any number, I'm just going to write in short, to any number, does not change or does not affect the number, does not change the number. 2 plus a 0, that's a 2. 3 plus, so whatever that you're given, 1 plus a 0, so therefore is what? Is a 1. It does not affect the number. So what about subtraction? 2 minus a 0, that's a 2. What you had is what you have on your answer. 3 minus a 0, what you had is what you're having on your answer. So again, on subtraction, we are not affected. It's not affected. Subtracting, all right, subtracting a 0 or subtracting 0. All right, let's just say 0 so that we do not confuse each other here. Subtracting 0 from any number. From any number. All right, does not change. Does not change the number. Okay. For an example, if you are given 2 minus a 0, that's still a 2. 3 minus a 0, that's a 3. So meaning say 1 minus 0 is what? Is 1. What you have as the number is still your answer here. Subtracting a 0 does not affect whether it is 1,000, it is 100, whatever that you're given. It is not affected. Okay, what about a multiplication? All right, we're going to consider the third part or the third property of a 0. Let's just look into 2 times a 0, 3 times a 0. All right, 2 times a 0. That's a 0 there. 3 that is going to give us a 0 again there. Multiplying any number by 0, we're going to get a 0, as you can see. That number is not going to come back. We get a 0 straight. So you're going to say multiplying any number, multiplying any number by what? By 0. Always, this one, always. You must take note there. Always gives 0. The answer always is going to be what? A 0. 2 times a 0, that's a 0. 100 times a 0, that's a 0. Always. Always. Okay? Then, number 4, we want to consider for a division any number divided by 0. So if we take any number and divide it to the 2 divided by 0, does not exist. 10 divided by 0 does not exist. So therefore, for a division, any number divided by 0 does not exist. It is what? Undefined. Undefined. 2 over 0, undefined, does not exist. But 0 divided by a number like this, 0, then we divide by any number, it's a 10. The answer is a 0. 0 divided by 100, 1000, whatever that you have, the answer is a 0. So that one, you must be very careful. All right, so let's say this is our A, then this is our B. So 0 over A, 0 over any number is equal to 0. Meaning to say 0 over 100 is equal to 0. 0 over 2 is equal to 0. That one, it exists. It's a 0. But this one, any number over 0, any number divided by 0, that one does not exist. Does not exist mathematically. Know exactly what you are working with. So I want you as an individual now to do a revision, basics of everything that you have in your syllabus. Understand all the basics because we are going to use them as we move on. So these are some of the properties that I want you to understand as you are starting. Say you know each and every, because guys, you see, later on, you see the importance of knowing these properties. It will help you even when you are simplifying where the calculator sometimes, where the calculator is not needed. You know, 3 plus 0 is a 3. All right? Some of these properties, they are very, very important for you to just understand them. So please do revise.